County Councilmember Brittney Ferree has a new government-issued title, convicted felon.
Ferree pleaded guilty today to breaking Indiana's conflict of interest law by accepting gifts and money from former Sheriff Noel while also voting to fund his New Chapel EMS contracts. Wave News troubleshooter Mark Stevens says her child with Noel likely kept her out of prison.
Ferree was sentenced to 2 years in prison, close to the maximum punishment for her felony, but she'll spend all of it on probation rather than behind bars.
While Special Judge Larry Medlock asked his standard questions of any criminal defendant, making sure Brittney Ferree understood her rights and the consequences of her guilty plea, he ended with a personal question. Why should he keep her out of prison?
Because I'm a single mom taking care of our son that we have. And I'm obviously the only person that's taking care of our son.
Ferree is referring to her child with disgraced Sheriff Noel. Noel paid more than $100,000 in child support to Ferree with money he stole from New Chapel EMS, money the company earned with Ferree's votes funding the contracts. He will have to pay that back. Medlock asked what Ferree has learned.
Not to trust somebody just because they're in law enforcement and they care for them.
He also fined her $2,000 and offered his condolences to her and the public.
You were a public official, and the public trusted you. And you're admitting today you've breached that trust. It's hard for the public to trust government when government officials do not do their job with fidelity and character and principle, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry you got messed up in this mess.
Special Prosecutor Rick Hurdle says this conviction should send a message to all Indiana public officials, but especially the ones leading Clark County.
The attorneys, the county council, and the commissioners here in Clark County probably need to do a better job.
Meanwhile, Ferree will be able to continue raising her children from home with occasional messages from her youngest son's father.
He will every so often send our son something in the mail, and I mean, our son is not old enough to even read. I don't even give it to him.
Ferree is now the third person of the 5 people charged so far to plead guilty. Noel is serving 12 years in prison. His daughter Casey is serving her 9-month jail sentence. Former Councilmember John Miller, also charged with conflict of interest, has a trial set for October. And Misty Noel still faces her own criminal charges. Mark Stevens, Wave News.
All right, thank you, Mark.